All right, let's talk about a plant you definitely see every single day. The dandelion. You know, that little yellow flower that wages a constant, tiny war on your perfect green lawn. But what if I told you that this so-called weed has a secret history? A totally paradoxical story as a celebrated medicine, a powerful superfood, and an ecological hero.
So let's just dive right in. We're going to see if we can challenge pretty much everything you think you know about this plant. Is it really possible that the one thing we spend so much time and energy trying to kill is actually one of the best things for us and for our backyards? Well, let's find out.
For most of us, this is how we see it, right? It's the enemy. It's that stubborn invader that just keeps coming back no matter how much you pull or spray. It's become a symbol of a messy yard, this little yellow blemish on that perfect green carpet we're all told we're supposed to have.
And the scale of our war against this little flower is, honestly, it's staggering. Look at that number, 80 million pounds. That's how many pounds of pesticides get dumped on lawns in the US every year. And a huge chunk of that is aimed squarely at plants like the dandelion. We've literally declared chemical warfare on a flower. But was it always like this?
No way. Not even close. In fact, for almost all of human history, the dandelion was the exact opposite of a menace. It was a respected herb, a valuable medicine. People even brought it with them when they traveled. The whole story of it becoming this garden enemy, that's actually a pretty recent twist.
I mean, this timeline really tells the tale. This plant has been around for 30 million years. By the 7th century, it was already a staple in Chinese medicine. Then, in 1620, it didn't just accidentally show up in North America, it was brought over on the Mayflower, on purpose, as a prized medicinal plant. Fast forward to 1857, and it's being celebrated in Central Park. It wasn't until the 1950s, with the rise of the suburbs, that its reputation completely tanked.
And I mean, just think about how admired they were. This quote, it's from a review of Central Park's grand opening. They weren't just tolerated, they were called blessed and compared to stars in the sky. Wow. So that really begs the question, right? What on earth did our ancestors know that we've completely forgotten?
Well, for starters, they knew it was food, and not just, survival food. They knew it was a true superfood, absolutely jam-packed with vitamins and minerals, hiding right there in plain sight.
So to really get a handle on just how powerful this little plant is, let's put it head-to-head with a modern health celebrity, kale. We all know kale is supposed to be amazing for us, but how do dandelion greens really stack up gram for gram?
The results are, well, they're pretty mind-blowing. Dandelion greens have more calcium than kale. They've got more than double the iron. And then you get to choline, a super important nutrient for your brain and liver. Dandelion greens have nearly 88 times more choline than kale. No, that's not a typo. 88 times. And look, this isn't just some fringe health opinion. Back in 2014, the CDC actually ranked the most powerhouse fruits and vegetables based on their nutrient density. And dandelion greens, they clocked in at number 16, beating out things like broccoli, tomatoes, and arugula.
So, okay, it's incredibly good for you. But the story doesn't stop there. The dandelion's benefits go way beyond our own bodies. It's also an unsung hero for the health of your entire backyard ecosystem. It's playing this crucial role that we totally mess up every time we pull one out of the ground.
Let's start from the ground up, literally. You know that super long, stubborn taproot that's a nightmare to pull out? It's actually a powerful little tool. It burrows down and breaks up hard, compacted soil, letting air and water get in. It also acts like a tiny mining drill, pulling up minerals like calcium from way down deep and bringing them to the surface for other plants to use. It holds the soil together, prevents erosion, and even attracts good bugs like ladybugs, which are basically free pest control.
And this right here, this might be its most important job of all. Dandelions are one of the very first things to flower in the spring. So for bees and butterflies just waking up from winter, they are a critical lifeline. Seriously, this early food is what they need to survive and get their colonies going before other flowers start to bloom. When we rip out dandelions, we're basically taking away the first breakfast of the year for some of our most important pollinators. So this brings us to the big central question here. If this plant is a superfood for us, a lifesaver for bees, a healer for our soil, and it grows with zero effort, why on earth did we declare war on it?
Well, the answer has nothing to do with biology and everything to do with marketing and social pressure. The real bad guy in the dandelion story is the invention of the perfect lawn, that post-World War II suburban dream of a flawless, uniform, green carpet. A yard with a mix of clover and dandelions, which used to be completely normal, was suddenly rebranded as a sign of neglect. And keeping up this artificial look comes at a huge environmental price. American lawns drink up about 9 billion gallons of water a day. The pesticides we spray to keep them weed-free kill around 70 million birds a year. And our gas-powered lawnmowers? They're responsible for a whopping 5% of the entire country's air pollution. The takeaway is pretty clear. The dandelion isn't the problem. Our obsession with the perfect lawn is. So what can we do? How can we start to shift our thinking and see this plant not as a pest, but as the wonder our ancestors did? Well, it all starts with understanding how to work with it safely.
So if you're curious and you want to give dandelions a try, safety is absolutely number one. First, make sure you've got the right plant. A true dandelion has one flower on a single hollow stem with no leaves on it. Second, and this is a big one, location, location, location. Never ever pick from the side of a road or any lawn that might get sprayed with chemicals. Finally, timing is key. For the best taste, grab the young leaves in the spring. For the roots, dig those up in the fall when they've stored up the most energy.
And as you're rethinking the dandelion's place in your yard, just remember this cool term, dynamic accumulator. It's the technical name for the job it's doing. It's a natural fertilizer, a soil conditioner, basically a little ecosystem engineer. It's not just taking up space, it's actively making the space around it better for everyone.
So we'll end with this thought. The dandelion is a survivor. It's a healer. It's a provider. And its story really forces us to ask ourselves what we think is beautiful, what's useful, and what truly belongs. So the next time you see that little pop of yellow in the grass, what are you going to see? A flaw that needs to be erased, or a free superfood and a gift to the world around you? The choice, as they say, is yours.